Imagine living in a world where every aspect of your daily life, your job, your education, even the conversations you have, are monitored and controlled. A place where your choices, no matter how small, are not truly your own. This is the unseen reality of daily life in North Korea, a country shrouded in secrecy and propaganda. What is it really like for the millions of people who call this place home? In this video, we're pulling back the curtain to uncover the hidden truths and everyday struggles faced by North Korean citizens. Stay tuned, because what you're about to learn might just change how you see the world. North Korea is one of the most secretive and tightly controlled countries in the world. It is a closed, authoritarian state where the government holds complete power over its people. The country is ruled by the Kim family, with Kim Jong-un as its leader. The government controls nearly every part of daily life, from what citizens say and do to what they think. A major part of this control is the restriction on information and access to the outside world. North Koreans cannot freely access the internet or watch foreign media. Television and radio stations are state-controlled, and all news is carefully selected to support the government's propaganda. Even owning or watching foreign content, such as South Korean dramas, is considered a crime that can result in severe punishment. Travel within and outside the country is also heavily restricted. Citizens need special permission to move between cities, and leaving the country is almost impossible for most. The borders are guarded closely, and anyone caught attempting to escape faces harsh consequences, including imprisonment or even death. These strict controls keep North Koreans isolated, with little knowledge of the outside world. This secrecy also makes it hard for outsiders to fully understand what life is really like in the country. Getting accurate information about North Korea is very hard because of government propaganda and censorship. The government controls all news and media, making sure only positive stories about the country and its leaders are shared. They block any information that could make the government look bad or show the real struggles of daily life. People inside North Korea are not allowed to speak openly about their lives or criticize the government. If they do, they face severe punishment, including imprisonment. This fear makes it impossible for outsiders to hear the truth directly from citizens. Additionally, journalists and researchers cannot freely enter North Korea. The few who are allowed in are carefully watched and only shown what the government wants them to see. This makes it difficult to get a complete and accurate picture of life in the country. Even defectors who escape and share their experiences often have limited perspectives. They can only describe the areas and situations they personally experienced, which may not represent the entire country. Overall, the strict control of information by the North Korean government creates many challenges for understanding the real conditions inside the country. Most of what we know comes from scattered accounts and careful investigations. North Korea, the government decides where people live through a system called the Songbun system. This system ranks people based on their loyalty to the government and their family's history. If someone's family has a history of supporting the government, they are considered more loyal and get better housing in good areas, like the capital city, Pyongyang. On the other hand, if someone's family is seen as less loyal or has a history of opposing the government, they are given poor quality housing in rural or less developed areas. The Songbun system affects not just housing, but also jobs, education, and opportunities in life. People can't choose where they live. It is all decided by their rank in this system. This creates a lot of inequality, where those with high ranks live comfortably, and those with low ranks struggle with basic needs. It's one way the government maintains control and rewards loyalty. In North Korea, people follow strict work schedules, often working long hours for very little pay or sometimes no pay at all. Many workers are required to do unpaid labor for the state, such as farming, construction, or other community projects. These tasks are seen as a duty to support the government, not as jobs for personal income. Workplaces are also heavily influenced by ideology. Every day, workers must attend political meetings or sessions where they are taught about the greatness of their leader and the government. This is called political indoctrination, and it's a way to keep people loyal and focused on the government's goals. Overall, work life in North Korea is not just about doing a job. It's about serving the state and showing loyalty. In North Korea, education is focused on teaching loyalty to the government and its leaders. From a young age, children are taught to admire and respect Kim Jong-un and the regime. Schools promote the idea that the government is perfect, and students are tested on the leader's thoughts and teachings. Children also participate in ideological and communal activities. They sing songs praising the government, perform in state-run events, and learn history from the regime's perspective. The goal is to raise a generation that is fully loyal to the state. Education in North Korea is not just about academics, but about preparing children to serve and support the government. In North Korea, all television and media are controlled by the state. The government only allows shows and news that support its leadership and ideas. People can't watch foreign channels or anything that might show a different view of the world. The news mostly talks about the greatness of the country and its leaders. North Koreans also have no access to the global internet. They can only use a very limited government-approved internet, which is only state-approved websites. This means they can't access foreign news, social media, or anything that might challenge the government's control over information. Many South Korean dramas are smuggled into North Korea, even though watching them is illegal. These dramas are often hidden on USB drives or DVDs and secretly shared among people. South Korean shows are very popular because they show a different lifestyle, fashion, and entertainment than what is allowed in North Korea. However, watching these dramas comes with great risk. If caught, people could be severely punished, including imprisonment or even execution. The government sees these foreign shows as dangerous because they can spread ideas that challenge the North Korean way of life. Despite these risks, many North Koreans still find ways to watch these dramas in secret. North Korea, food scarcity is a major problem. The country often faces shortages of basic food items like rice, vegetables, and meat. Poor harvests, natural disasters, and the lack of resources make it difficult for people to get enough food. Many families struggle to meet their daily needs. To cope with this, black markets exist where people can buy and sell food and goods that are not available in state-run stores. These markets are illegal, but they are crucial for survival. People trade items like vegetables, meat, and even clothes to get food. However, the government cracks down on these markets, and anyone caught participating can face punishment. Despite the risks, black markets remain a lifeline for many North Koreans. Many North Koreans show great creativity to cope with food shortages. For example, some people grow vegetables in small gardens, using rooftops or empty lots in cities to plant food. Others search forests for wild herbs, mushrooms, and plants to add to their meals. In addition, people use scraps of fabric and old materials to make their own clothes and shoes. Some even create small items to sell at the black markets, such as handmade tools or toys, to earn money for food. Despite these challenges, citizens in North Korea remain resilient, using their resourcefulness to survive in tough conditions. Their creativity allows them to find ways to manage even with limited resources. In North Korea, citizens are mostly confined to their local areas. The government strictly controls who can travel to other cities or regions. To leave their area, people need special permission, which is very difficult to get. Only those with high status or a specific reason, such as work or government orders, are allowed to travel. Even then, the government closely monitors their movement. Travel outside the country is highly restricted, and most citizens never leave North Korea. This strict control ensures that people stay loyal to the regime and prevents exposure to outside influences or ideas. Many North Korean defectors have shared their stories of life under the regime, often highlighting the harsh conditions and constant fear. One defector, named Ji-hai, said that growing up in North Korea, she never knew anything about the outside world. She was taught that North Korea was the best country and that the leader was like a god. When she escaped, she was shocked by the freedom and opportunities in South Korea. Another defector, named Kim, recalled how his family struggled with food shortages and how his mother risked everything to smuggle food into their home. These stories give us a glimpse into the tough lives many North Koreans face, as well as their bravery in seeking freedom. These testimonies are often shared by defectors who want to raise awareness about the reality of life in North Korea. Many North Korean defectors share stories of daily struggles, like food shortages and constant fear. One defector, Minji, remembered going days without enough food and living under strict surveillance. She was always worried about making a mistake that could lead to punishment. After escaping to South Korea, Minji felt overwhelmed by the freedom she never knew existed. She realized that in North Korea, she couldn't speak freely or make her own choices. In South Korea, she found a chance to live without fear and control, reflecting on how different life could be when you're free. Many North Korean defectors say the world doesn't fully understand their lives. Some believe people think life in North Korea is like other countries, but it's far more controlled. One defector, Sue, explained that the government controls everything, even what people watch watch on TV. Others, like Jay, emphasize how much fear people live in. They can't express their opinions or disagree with the government, and punishment for small actions is common. Defectors hope sharing their stories will help the world see how harsh life in North Korea really is, and how real the fight for freedom is. Life in North Korea is highly controlled, with the government deciding what people can do, say, and watch. People cannot speak freely or criticize the government without fear of punishment. In other countries, people have more freedom to express opinions, choose jobs, and travel. They can access information from all over the world and vote in elections. The key difference is that North Koreans live under constant surveillance, while people in other countries enjoy privacy and greater freedoms. The world is working to address human rights issues in North Korea, with the United Nations releasing reports about abuses like forced labor and restricted freedoms. Countries like the US and South Korea have imposed sanctions to pressure North Korea's government to improve. However, North Korea denies the accusations and blocks outside groups from entering. Despite these challenges, global efforts continue to push for change and support defectors who escape the country. Romanticizing or oversimplifying life in North Korea can be harmful because it ignores the real struggles people face. It can make the situation seem less serious and downplay the dangers defectors face. Escaping North Korea is difficult and risky, and by oversimplifying it, we miss the chance to understand the true challenges of living under the regime. In this video, we covered the harsh life in North Korea, including government control, food shortages, and limited freedoms. We also discussed the efforts to improve human rights and the stories of defectors. It's important to think critically about the freedoms we have. Many people around the world still fight for basic rights like freedom of speech and access to information. Let's not forget their struggles and continue to support human rights for all. If this video opened your eyes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it to spread awareness. To help North Korean defectors, you can support organizations like Liberty in North Korea, Link, which helps defectors escape and start new lives. Another trustworthy group is the Committee for Human Rights in North Korea, HRNK, which works to raise awareness about human rights abuses in the country. By supporting these organizations, you can make a real difference in the lives of those who are seeking freedom.